Okay, so I try to get this set up to be as level as possible. Sorry about that. So hopefully this will not be too ajar. But I'm going to do a breakdown of the trailer, the final trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. So it's going to be pretty just gonna start it up here. It is going to be pretty patchy. I don't normally put a lot of editing. Just a warning, I don't normally put a lot of editing in my videos, except like patching things together, maybe cutting certain things out. But I'm going to try and put some editing work into this. Like maybe if I reference something, I'll try to have like an image of it up for a certain duration or something. But yeah. Other than that, don't try to expect too much out of this. And this isn't the main thing I do on my channel, but I do kind of enjoy looking over these things and giving my thoughts and my little bit of my Mountain of Zelda knowledge that I know, little shot at this. So yeah, let's get into it. I do want to say that besides any Metroid trailers, this trailer is the best trailer I have seen for anything throughout the duration of my life so far. It was baller. Let's get into it. First, we kind of start out with a shot of the Sky Islands. Very, very beautiful, very bright. Also, you may not be able to see very well because of the quality of my TV screen, but it definitely looks like the graphics are going to be a lot better than what was shown in the gameplay. A lot of people were frustrated at the graphics in the gameplay. There, of course, were a lot of videos done by other channels about how it was recompressed like 2 or 3 times before it got to that point of being able to show it on YouTube. So the gameplay probably looks nowhere as good as the game would. This trailer really proves that. The gameplay throughout the trailer is smooth, consistent. Yeah, that's all the observations I have about this. I think some of these islands were ones he may have already visited. Hold on. Okay, so there's a construct down there fighting a choo-choo on maybe one of the islands Onuma was on in his gameplay presentation, maybe not. Fighting him with some sort of fused weapon. What is called a ranger construct, minding its own business. I don't think they're hostile. I think they just work on things, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of what it's like to interact with them, kind of maintain these islands. Oh yeah. Observation here. In the gameplay, I do not believe he had 4 vials on his little side thing, his little side pouch that replaces where the Sheikah Slate was. So by the time of this, he probably has more abilities than Onuma showed us getting, which is kind of neat. The website for Tears of the Kingdom has confirmed that these Sky Islands are going to be the starting point of the game. Also, that little forge down there is something you will see later on, and also, this is the tower in which the second trailer, I believe, opens with, where he opens the doors, light shines in, and then he jumps off the island. This has been compared with that, and it turns out that that place which he was leaving is in fact this tower. Probably. Cannot know for 100% until you see it again. Oh, yeah. Okay, in this shot, I'm going to turn it up a little bit because the music slaps. Bottom right corner, you guys can see a small, like, malice hole thing in the ground. On bottom left, there's a tower. of sorts. Not sure what exactly those are for. There's a glyph in the bottom middle, barely. I kind of missed that as I was going through, but I'm not going to rewind it because that would take too long. Another little feature maybe you guys aren't aware of. There will be customizable paragliders. This was confirmed by Nintendo, and it was confirmed beforehand in the art book. Just kind of an interesting little tidbit. As you can see, the paraglider he's using is not the one he had before. Okay, a little bit to unpack here. The landscape has definitely changed. There are quite a lot. There are a lot more. There's a lot of falling debris. There's in the middle right kind of area. There's a stone that some of them have green spirals over. I'm assuming they're the replacement for shrines, and I have a sneaking suspicion because they've been seen on Sky Islands and on the ground that perhaps they coincide with each other, so they operate as shrines. But you can also go to one and choose whether you want to travel to other ones on land or go to the corresponding one in the sky, and then from the one in the sky you could probably access other ones in the sky. Okay, another tower in the middle kind of top, just off to the right. There's a circular thing left of that tower. I think there's a new monster camp in the middle left-ish, like just left from the middle. Not anything else I can see here. Okay, Kakariko's changed a lot. They seem to have gained an obsession for mushrooms. As you can see, some of the inhabitants are wearing mushrooms on their heads. There's a mushroom-themed clothing store. I'm quite curious as to what purpose all the mushrooms are going to serve or why they exist in Nintendo. There are going to be, of course, new towns in the game. This was confirmed by the website for any of you who were doubting, indirectly confirmed. So that's kind of interesting. Hyrule Town, or Castle Town, Hyrule Castle Town, is, the Malice is gone, and it seems like they're rebuilding. You can see the Hylian crest on those tents down there. Might mean that, they're trying to start rebuilding the town. This is over Kakariko. If you look at those ruins there appears to be kind of a circular thing that would have fallen from the Sky Islands, maybe a coliseum of sorts. And there are different chunks of it that have kind of been built around, with like wooden platforms and stuff. So maybe like Kakariko Village, part of it was crushed. It looks like some buildings were crushed too. There's like also a glowing teleportation rock for probably getting up to the Sky Islands, and also, as a kind of a checkpoint at Kakariko. Didn't really reveal any more of that shot. This is the Typhlo Ruins, one of the most enigmatic places in Breath of the Wild that hit at the Zonai. We're in the desert, but this is not a part of the desert that exists in the game yet. If you look up to, off to the middle left, there's another one of those green spiral stones. In the center, you guys will see what could possibly be the Arbiter's grounds from Twilight Princess rising out. I suspect that's what it is. There's definitely a lot of confirmation in this trailer for dungeons coming back, which is awesome. They always have so much character, and they're always things you remember, I can remember blah 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 specific dungeon from so and so game. Yeah, pieces of the Sky Islands are falling down onto Hyrule Castle. Demise? I think this is confirmation that there's Demise. Demise will be in the game or come back in Tears of the Kingdom. The reason being, and I have to go back a little bit, sorry about that. If you look at his hands, they're sort of scaly. And Demise, part of his design was that hair, that flaming hair, and his scaly skin. a shot of Zelda falling. Link has his burnt mouse hands. Oh yeah, go back. Note here that Zelda is glowing with light as she's falling. Something she's holding in her hand also glowing with light. Holes, sinkholes opening up, maybe leading to underground, because as underground is confirmed later on in the trailer. I'm assuming most of you have already seen the trailer before watching this breakdown. Hopefully, if you haven't, go watch it before, because I do talk about a lot of it in, or like a lot of future parts before we actually get to them. Lava, this is underground confirmed, and also a dungeon. Probably the fire dungeon. So this is crazy, but perhaps as there was a cyclone seen above one of the Hebrew mountains, it is possible that there are Rito in these ships, and they've sort of taken to the skies to try and figure out what exactly is going on up there. Perhaps proof of underwater gameplay, if there are even mechanics for swimming in water. Very interesting. So a diving sort of suit, an obstacle to try and probably get down to the underground. You have to bypass all of this webbing. From what I understand, that is sort of supposed to be based off a Japanese, I think it is pachinko machine. Correct me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly or saying just the wrong word entirely. But it's a game where you pay some money and you kind of twist it, and out comes one of the prizes. We have a lot like it here, but that's more in the style of a pachinko machine. So it's likely you'll put rupees in, and then be able to like get certain prizes out. Ooh, hide in the wall. The wall's about to crush him in that last shot. He's got just perhaps a fused weapon, perhaps just a straight construct spear. Also NPCs fighting with bokoblins and moblins. NPC battles pretty much confirmed, which is going to be awesome to see in the Breath of the Wild format. Riding up an elevator. The Chica text up there has been translated. I believe it reads transport. You'd have to check on other channels, but I believe that's what the lettering is. Zonai fellow, as Zonai had been confirmed for this game. Possibly, maybe one of the dragons, maybe god or goddess, who knows. Clearly amongst a crowd of other people of perhaps the same race. Confirmation, yet again, that Epona is going to be part of the story and not just an amiibo gained horse. Not much else to observe from that shot. A boss in a dungeon, perhaps. A giant construct boss. Very similar in design to the boss of the Tower of the Gods in Wind Waker. Sorry, I'll try to edit in the name because I cannot remember his name. The way he comes out of the wall, just very reminiscent of that. Link is in a clean Hyrule Castle, so perhaps Hyrule Castle's being repaired. Seems to be surprised. Maybe that's after he beats Ganondorf. He kind of... Oh! Is this confirmation that this could be confirmation that there'll be a new game plus, where you'll be able to continue playing the game and rebuilding Hyrule after you've defeated Ganondorf. That would be awesome.
Zelda.
Okay, sort of, there's a man talking. I'm sorry, it'll be kind of choppy because I'm trying to break this down. There are two, spinning water wheel type things, and I'm not sure what this is. Maybe some sort of a Zonai altar or something. Zelda's there with the money dress, perhaps after just waking up, or maybe that's just the style their clothing is in. It is short-haired Zelda, so I do believe maybe this happens after Zelda Falls.
We rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries.
Master Sword, nothing much to
Our
say
last
here.
line of defense will be...
Except that the Korok Forest was missing from the map, so this is probably before they fall down, meaning there might be some gameplay before they fall down, unless it's all just a flashback. The man, creature thing, if you look down his waist, you can tell he's definitely not human or Hylian or whatever. He's of the zone area. It's probably the long-eared dude we saw before. Patting Zelda on the shoulder. You can see a closer look at Zelda's earrings and stuff, and also the markings in the man's chest are very similar to the design of constructs. And his... Oh, wait. Okay, go back a little. On her neck, you can see a golden thing. That is the thing she was holding before, likely. It's hard to tell. Here's Link flying on a device we've seen him flying on before. Okay, here's something interesting. Yeah, so he used... Go back. There he has a shield fused onto a Royal Guards Claymore, or Royal Claymore, sorry, which means you're going to be able to fuse massive weapons and shields to be able to attack, as well as parry on attack, which is kind of awesome. There's the place in which the little pachinko machine was located before, so maybe there are several of those in the sky, maybe there's just one and that's the one. Boss fight's coming back. Oh, maybe it's not a boss. If we take a closer look at the shot, that is a Goron rolling at you, perhaps malice infested or something. Two other Gorons viewing. I'll try to edit this on screen, but they're in Twilight Princess, and I'm trying to remember what other game. Wrestling with Gorons was or fighting with Gorons was kind of a theme to try and earn their respect. So I wonder if he'll meet a different sect of Gorons or a different tribe or something where he'll have to prove something, or maybe it's just fighting for entertainment or to gain something. We will not know till the game comes out. Just still kind of interesting though. So they just spring launched off one of the boats, so maybe those top sails act as trampolines. He's flying with, I believe, Tulin, who is the son of Teba. Probably the new champion replacement at that point. There's Link carrying NPCs in the back of a carriage connected with the Ultra Hand ability, and also harnessed to his horse. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. There's Link using the recall ability to destroy a Octorok, more enemies, and also a rocket that was attached to Link's hand. Here you guys will see what could possibly be confirmation that we're getting high enough up into the atmosphere to be in space. So if you look on the back, there are propellers attached with Zonai propellers attached to Goron minecarts. One a construct and the other that he seems to be fighting in some sort of mini boss battle. Very interesting. He seems to have constructed a massive thing with a little cannon at the front, little thunderbolt thing. Fusing and Ultra Hand are going to be so ridiculous in this game. It's going to be great. The possibilities are going to be endless. Speedrunners are going to have so much fun. Poor Point Crow at trying to get past all those lawsuits and stuff. That's rough, man. But hopefully he's able to get those resolved, and him and other Zelda modders will probably be content without modding this game for a while, long enough to do speedruns. A Ruby. He's using a Ruby on the end of an arrow to get maybe depending on the caliber of an item, it'll increase the range of something. So what would seem like a waste firing a Ruby instead of a fire arrow could perhaps be like, oh, it has a way wider radius, or it does way more damage or something. Depending on the item, that would be a very interesting system to implement. He is wearing armor with horns reminiscent of the green fellow we saw earlier, and other than that, not much new about this. Okay, so in the back of a bokoblin, in the top left-ish, just to the right, or just to the left of that spinning laser doohickey, you can see he's carrying some sort of ooze in the back of his, or in his little backpack thing. It could be choo choo jelly. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But it does look like we're going to be able to fuse a whole heckin' lot to something. Clearly enough to, like, destroy camps. I assume that that green thing attached is in fact the battery. I cannot remember the name of this enemy now, but I know it appears in Twilight Princess and a few other Zelda games. It's not a Goma, though it could be a Sky Goma, but it's also very reminiscent of another type of boss. It also could be what's causing the cyclone above Hebra, or it could be like an evil dragon or something. Not fully sure what it is yet, but I guess we'll find out.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.
There she is again there she was again with the tear. What's likely happening here is Ganondorf is breaking the barrier between the cloud, or breaking the cloud barrier, opening up the sacred realm, or whatever's in the skies, and Hyrule, opening those up to each other. Perhaps part of his end game plan to rise up and conquer the holy kingdoms above or something.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world.
Okay, I'm going to go back and analyze that. I intentionally watched the entire thing. Another thing, Ganondorf's voice actor is confirmed to be Matthew Mercer by Matthew Mercer himself. That's awesome. I had a sneaking suspicion the first time I heard his voice. Hey, is that Matthew Mercer? But it's confirmed. Oh, he's going to be so great as Ganondorf. Anyway, let's start breaking this down. So Lionel's are coming back with massive horns that are going to greatly aid them in combat. Here's the scene where Link gets his arm all taken up. Ganondorf's other arm. Look at those pecs, man. Ganondorf. He does have a red tear on his head, though it's kind of hard to see because of the shiny light. Gosh, I'm just having a terrible time remembering the names of enemies today. That enemy shows up in Wind Waker. I will have a picture and the name of it edited into this part of the video.
Okay, let's go!
There is Tulin, the son of Teba again. I don't know who she is. She very well might be Hylia, but she's shooting a group of Moldugas, older Riju, a group of NPCs ready to head off to battle, even Gorons, and lady from the Gerudo Desert. Can we fight with the champions? Perhaps. Sidon, they're fighting Construct. Here is Riju and Sidon apparently fighting with Link.
Final hope.
Oh, go back. Man, the whole thing moves so fast. So yeah, he's got some sort of ice horn forged on the end of his blade. Perhaps the horn of an ice Gleeok, confirming that there are, in fact, other elements. So if you go in there are screenshots of the game and one of them is of this boss fight or mini boss fight or whatever, and it is a fire Gleeok. I'm guessing because it's on the bridge, it's a mini boss fight, a lot like a Lionel or something, but maybe significantly more intense. So yeah, that's gonna be neat.
Final hope.
And then Zelda holding the Master Sword there. Oh, hold on, let me check something. Is it? I can't tell if it's fixed or not from that.
Final hope.
Okay. A little bit of an extra thing after if you just wait.
Link. You must find me.
Whether you guys are watching morning, noon, or night, I hope you guys enjoyed this installment in my channel, and I will see you guys if you choose to subscribe or just to go watch my videos. I'll see you guys in the next video.